One team got exposed at the trade deadline, and their fans should be so angry. There were moves that might impact the championship, like Royce O'Neal to the Suns, but nothing like last year. I mean, we had Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, now we get Gordon Hayward. Great. But you know who's really upset about all this? LeBron James. We know he's been dropping hints about LA making a trade. He wore a Knicks towel on TV, Knicks colors pregame, but days before the deadline, he was asked, is this group good enough to win?
This is what we have, so there's nothing else to talk about.
Wow. So what did LA do? Nothing. They are rolling with the roster that is barely a play-in team right now. Lakers did not take LeBron's threat seriously. They don't think that he's gonna leave for the Knicks. But what if they're wrong? I mean, New York made moves at the deadline, like adding Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks for Malachi Flynn, Quentin Grimes, salaries, and seconds. After getting OG Anunoby, only thing they're missing is a superstar. Knicks could make the East Finals already. Then a star thinks, I want to be that missing piece. Is it LeBron? Well, to get him, the Knicks would have to trade Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson and draft Bronny. But LA didn't think DeJounte Murray was enough. Reports say they want Donovan Mitchell. This summer, they will have 3 first-round picks to trade, and if Spider wants out, he could join LeBron and AD. And I'm sorry, that looks really unlikely. If you haven't noticed, the Cavaliers are rolling right now and look like Donovan Mitchell's team. The Lakers are just hoping to get lucky if Cleveland implodes in the postseason. And outside of him, what? Trae Young? This is a bad day for LA. They just didn't have a ton of options, but the Lakers did not get exposed. What about the Warriors? But the one thing that a lot of us have in common with these NBA players is hair loss. How do they magically get their hair back? Do you have to be a gajillionaire? No, it turns out Keeps has multiple treatment options that are proven to work. I first noticed my male pattern baldness at 16 years old. No joke. And the first thing I used to fight it was one of the 2 FDA-approved treatments that Keeps offers. I, obviously, turned out to be a great candidate for this, but Keeps has multiple treatments that are clinically proven to work. They have both of the FDA-approved hair loss treatment options, as well as a 2-in-1 gel that combines both treatments. And according to clinical studies, treatments offered by Keeps are 90% effective at treating hair loss and can increase hair growth by up to 35%. So if you're looking to prevent your hair loss, stimulate your hair growth, or just take better care of the hair that you have, Keeps has you covered. Now, in addition to clinically proven treatments, Keeps also offers hair thickening shampoo, conditioner, and styling pomade. And most Keeps customers notice results within 6 months of starting treatment. So be a part of the nearly 1 million men who keep their hair with Keeps. For a special offer to get started, go to keeps.com/amhoops or click the link in the description. Thanks again to Keeps. What about the Warriors? They also did nothing. Out of the playoffs right now. Only a huge move would have fixed that. And there was nothing to be done. I mean, after Indiana got Pascal Siakam and New York got OG, what do? Their hope is Andrew Wiggins wakes up, Jonathan Kuminga keeps playing well into the postseason, and Chris Paul stays healthy. Any team with Steph is a contender, and they'll make a move this offseason. So we will reveal the team that actually got exposed, but who made smart trades? The Mavericks. 2 deals, PJ Washington and a late first for Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and a top 2 protected first, and they got Daniel Gafford for Richaun Holmes and a second. The Mavs filled both needs on deadline day, a 2-way forward with size and shooting, plus a defensive backup center. PJ is 6'7", and good on catch and shoot threes, which he'll get a lot of with Luka and Kyrie. At 25 years old on a cheap deal, such a better option as a forward than Kyle Kuzma or Andrew Wiggins. Gafford is a quality backup for Derek Lively with rim defense and rebounding. Lively's great, but you cannot depend on a rookie center in the playoffs against guys like Jokic in the West. Another winner, the Thunder. Gordon Hayward for Trey Mann, salaries, and a second. Hayward fits perfect for how they play. OKC moves the ball, shoots well, and Hayward has veteran experience who will close games in the playoffs. Problem? He's almost never healthy. Dude's been out since December 26th with a calf injury, but all they had to give up were out of the rotation guys. OKC did not get the big they needed, but Hayward is solid. One team, though, set themselves back for years. Before we get to them, the Wolves made an underrated move. They got Monte Morris for Shake Milton, Troy Brown Jr., and a second. Monte is a quality backup at point for Mike Conley. Like, remember when they lost Cat's big 63-point game? Underrated storyline, they didn't have Conley. They need a vet to step in, and Morris is excellent. For his career, 48% from the field, 39% from three, and he takes care of the ball. But Patrick Beverley to the Bucks for campaign will get a lot of attention. The Bucks desperately needed perimeter defense. Doc Rivers remembers this Pat Bev from the Clippers. He is not quite at that level still, but will make a big difference. The Bucks have a long way to go to look like actual contenders, but who did not get traded? DeJounte Murray? Kyle Kuzma? The shocker is DeJounte. I mean, did you see that social media rant he went on about how miserable the Hawks are? But no one wanted him. The Hawks demanded 2 first-round picks at least, and only the Lakers and Jazz made offers, but they didn't want him that bad. But who got exposed? Well, there's 2 teams, a minor disaster and a giant car wreck. The minor one is the Sacramento Kings. They lose to the Pistons recently, fall to a play-in after the 3 seed last year, and do nothing. First, Pascal Siakam says he will not re-sign there. Then they go after Jeremy Grant, but the Blazers turn them down several times. So with 0 options, they're running with this group and just hoping for the best. Not ideal, but not close to as bad as the Chicago Bulls. You rarely see a team with 20+ years of bad decisions like this. They could have traded Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, Andre Drummond, Alex Caruso, but did nothing. They're gunning for the 10 seed. DeMar's about to be a free agent. What is the point of keeping Vooch? A team could have overpaid for Caruso. Instead of getting assets for the future, they doubled down on stupid. The problem is injuries to 2 key players, Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine. I mean, that derailed their plans, but they just refused to accept that. Now, Kobe White has broken out, has all-star upside. Patrick Williams is showing signs. So why not build around them? Because this team always screws it up. The last time was 2017. Jimmy Butler traded for LaVine, Chris Dunn, and Lauri Markkanen, but they gave up on Lauri for Derrick Jones Jr. and a bad draft pick? Then they trade Wendell Carter and 2 picks, including Franz Wagner for Vooch. They also might not have next year's first-round pick in the DeMar DeRozan deal. So to recap, had they been patient, this team would be a young core of Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, Kobe White, Wendell Carter, Franz Wagner, and others. Look at that squad. Contender worthy at least. But instead of being patient, they made stupid win now moves to be mediocre. Now today, they locked in more years of mediocrity by refusing to trade. Now the good news is the deadline doesn't actually matter that much. To champions at least. Here's what champions did at the deadline the last 23+ years. 1 star, Rasheed Wallace, 04 Pistons. 3 role players, PJ Tucker for the Bucks, Marc Gasol for the Raptors, Channing Frye for the Cavs. 4 scrubs that barely played, and 15 champions did nothing. You have to go back to the 1995 Rockets getting Clyde Drexler to find another star. So today, actually, sorry to say, it did not matter that much to the champions, which is good news for the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Celtics who made minor changes. The actual trades that mattered this year happened a long time ago. Deadline day is just the final moment to make a deal. This year, we have already had Damian Lillard to the Bucks, James Harden to the Clippers, Pascal Siakam to Indy, Terry Rozier to the Heat. But on deadline day, some of the best teams did nothing. That is who really won deadline day. Now, the Sixers did get Buddy Hield, which is big if Joel Embiid comes back. He's got a decent chance of returning, but Embiid's injury was actually a lot worse than we thought.